Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Antonio Cipriano about National Treasure Edge of History, premiering 2-episode premiere December 14th on Disney+. Welcome to the show, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, man. I really like the background, I wanted to say.
I really appreciate that. Yeah. I know.
Good.
It's crunch time, man. It's coming up pretty soon. I mean, there's not much more to say. I mean, we got to get into this. I mean, edge of your seat, treasure hunt, right? Like, there's not much more to say, right?
Not much more to say other than treasure hunt, and it's iconic. It's so much fun. Yeah.
Familiar, there's like unfamiliar territory and familiar territory with a lot of the cast, yourself and your amazing cast for this project, because there's the movies and there's some familiarity there where there's some writers and score composers that were on the movie and everything. So people know the movies, but these are new characters. This is a new treasure hunt. So it's kind of like very unique for the cast, I feel like. Did you think about that when you were cast for this?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, there was definitely like a huge deal of pressure just to get it right? Because I mean, I grew up being a fan of the movies, and you want to do right by the fans because this is such a beloved franchise. And I think, you know, working with the Wibberleys who wrote the original movies and they came on to do the show, you know, having them really kind of give their trust to us and collaborate with us and feel open to bringing these new characters to life. I mean, it was like to be a part of this franchise that I've been a fan of forever.
What is that mindset, though, knowing that you're on a show where the audience member has to be an active detective, basically, throughout the thing? Because, you know, there's a lot of passive TV to watch, right? I mean, your character says, you know, MTV Cribs and everything, stuff like that. You could just put that on the background, do whatever the hell you want on your phone, right? Not this one, right? You got to be dialed in. What is that like for you specifically as an actor, knowing that?
Oh, I mean, I think you always strive for that. You want the audience to be in it, right? And I think with this show, we've seen a few episodes, and I think it really does. It drives, and it's built like a movie, right? So there's the build up, and then 7 through 10. I don't know if you've seen all of them, but it's really just a race to the finish.
I have not seen all of them. I've been told that it gets crazier and crazier.
Yeah. But I'm sure Jake told you because you got some.
You know, I'm all excited now. What the hell? But I mean, I'll probably get them soon. But I'll tell you this though. Is it one of those things where like I even feel like even my questions, they're not like I'm walking on eggshells, man. Like I don't want to spoil things. I'm a big believer. You go in fresh is the best experience. Do you agree with me on that?
Absolutely. Yes. No, I don't want to spoil anything, and I've already kind of like done that in a couple interviews. I've already done the Tom Holland thing, and I like need to stop. I need to chill out and just try my best to like stop.
Did you do you did like the press junket and everything? Does that when it kind of starts hitting you that it's coming out, or has it been kind of like since the release date where it's like, wow, like people are gonna get to see this soon?
I think maybe it was probably the premiere. I think having a room full of people watching you on the screen was really weird. It was just really weird. Like I've done stage stuff and like, you know, that's fine. They're watching you do your thing. But like this, I'm just like literally sitting in the audience with them watching it. And I'm like, what? Okay, so people are going to have, you know, they're going to be able to watch this. And it's really interesting. And I don't have any control over it. And that's okay. That's okay. I just got to let it go.
Well, you know, it's cool because it's a cool thing and it's like an overwhelming thing where like you all make this, you put your heart and soul in it, right? I mean, shout out to the amazing cast and crew for this show. I mean, you could just see the scale is so big and everything. Yes. Shout out to the crew, right? We got to shout out the crew.
Oh my God. Everyone who worked on this show. Absolutely incredible. Top of their game.
But, you know, on December 14th, it's going to be like out of your hands, right? It's going to be in the world's hands, right? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. And I just keep thinking about the fact that, you know, it's going to come out and people are going to have, think about it however they want. And I want discourse. I want, you know, people need to talk. No, that's what you know, art is for creative discourse. So I think it's going to be really interesting and fans of the movies, I really hope that they enjoy it. And
And maybe not even the fans of the movies, like a new generation. Like that's the coolest thing, right? With all these reimagining or remakes or reboots. I still don't know what the official term we're all settling is, right? Like what were you calling it? Were you guys calling it a reimagination or like a continuation?
A continuation. It's not a reimagination at all.
Yeah,
It's
not.
It's in the same universe. You know,
but like people use those different, like the reboot, the remake. I don't know what to call it. You know what I mean? Sometimes
no, it's not a. Yeah, no, it's a full continuation. It's just like the Marvel universe. Like it's the same kind of thing. And like Ben Gates and Riley Poole are celebrities in our
universe. So many people are going to have a chance to watch this over the holidays too. That's like that's the best part about this whole thing, right?
Yes. No, it's like perfect timing.
Yeah.
Family. It's a family show. You can watch this with your entire family and like all the clues as they're going. Like it's actually a very fun thing to watch all together. And this is a perfect time to do it.
So it got brought up in an interview I did with your amazing co-star Jake Austin Walker, and apparently, you know, when interviews come out, I mean, I believe you have a nickname, right? People call you Chip. Right?
Yeah, it became
Is there like a story about that, or is this something that just kind of happened?
I've grown up with so many different kind of nicknames.
Was that like a nickname with them, or was that something that people called you growing up?
Honestly, I think they were I'm sure I've gotten it before. That was like National Treasure. Like that was their.
Is it because your last name is like Cipriano?
So it's Cipriano, but it's actually Cipriano. So that's where Chip comes from.
So
like,
it's Cipriano. You told me to say it's Cipriano. I asked you before the interview.
I know, and it's because it's just easier. It's just like Is it
Cipriano though? Is it Cipriano? Is it Antonio
Cipriano? If you want to be Italian, you know, if you want to do the Italian way.
Okay.
Cipriano.
At the end of the interview, I'm gonna redo the intro because I'm not screwing it up. Okay. Actually,
no, but like, everyone says Cipriano. You didn't.
But it's not Cipriano. It's Cipriano. Oh my God. Maybe we keep this in the interview
keep it, dude.
Oh, I'm rattled now. You rattled like it's not your name. It's like saying like, oh, it's Romiliotis, but like Romiliadis is like acceptable.
No, but the biggest issue with my name is my first name. Nobody says Antonio.
Antonio Cipriano. I said it perfectly.
No, you said it amazingly. Okay. A lot of people say Anthony, and you know what? It's a big pet peeve.
I was talking about the last name. I got the last name right. I'm giving myself.
I told you to say Cipriano, so that's not.
I know,
on you.
but I feel bad because it's still not your name. But anyway, we're gonna keep this in the interview because this is good stuff. But like,
I think we should.
So you're Chip.
I'm Chip.
Oh my God. Chip. No, it's because you know what? It's a thing now. I always ask before interviews, even if it's like a slam dunk. I always ask. Like, you know what I mean? So I asked you and you were like, yeah, that's right. And now mid-interview, it's like, no, it actually wasn't.
No, but it's been Cipriano my entire life. Okay. Like, I grew up Cipriano.
All right.
And that's why I say, I mean, Cipriano is just.
We're backtracking now. You're on an amazing show.
I know.
You're part of the Disney. You're part of the Disney Plus family, which is incredible. Yeah. Like, you are part of the Disney family, Antonio. It's crazy.
It's a dream come true.
Yeah,
man.
When does that start? I don't think it might not have ever sink in.
I don't think it will, if I'm being honest. I don't even know how to, I think when we went to D23, that was when it was like, oh, we're like really a part of this thing.
Yeah.
Like we got to go to Disneyland and get a guide and everything, rode all the rides. It was like the coolest experience. So yeah, I think it's never fully going to sink in, but it definitely feels really exciting.
What would you say besides the people? Because man, it's like, this is a question that I ask a lot of guests, but like it's always the same answer. So hopefully you can kind of like keep it alive. Well, no, it's like besides the people, like what is the best part about being on National Treasure Edge of History? Because when I asked that question, I was like the people, and it's like, yeah, of course. But like, is there anything else?
But when I tell you that's the reason everyone's saying that is because it's like way too true.
It's the people, yeah.
Like but you know what? I think the best part about being on National Treasure specifically, it really is like growing up. As an actor, you're like, oh, I want to be like a Jedi, a treasure hunter. I want to be like that's like in the top 5 dream type things to do as as an actor, as a person.
Yeah.
You know, that going on an adventure, like watching Indiana Jones, National Treasure growing up, like you're just like, that would be so epic. And like, yeah, and working with the original actors, a lot of them came back. I think that was just like the most amazing thing.
It's so crazy. You know, kind of adding, that's like the best part about being a storyteller though, right? Is like being able to, like, to dive into all these different worlds. Like that's why you do what you do, basically.
Exactly. No, yeah. I mean, getting to solve these clues and and like learn as you're doing it. I think that's a big thing too, is like the whole, the treasure that we're going after in the show, I didn't know much about. I didn't learn about Malinche in school or any of that. So like, getting to learn about that and like from different points of views and like how people look at Malinche and the Aztecs, Incans, and Mayans, like it's a whole different, it's, you know, it's a history lesson, just like the movies.
It's so crazy. Do you also feel like I'm watching the show and I feel like there's like a genre bending component of it where it's funny, it's got the adventure, it's got the heartfelt moments. And like, we're in a world, I feel like a lot of filmmakers and TV showrunners, Antonio, are kind of like ignoring the genre a little bit, where they're just kind of making a movie or they're making a show. Like, do you think about that at all? There are some genre bending elements to the show as well. Obviously, it's a treasure hunt, but it's funny. It's got heart. It's heartfelt. It's dramatic, right? There's a genre bending component of National Treasure: Edge of History.
Exactly. This is an action show, but it's also a comp. It's like I compare like our group. I mean, they called us the Scoobies. I don't know if Jake told you that, but they would always talk about that. But also like New Girl and like fun comedies like that. I think, you know, we wanted to add as much like character to these characters as possible, you know. And, you know, obviously if there's more to expand, there's much more to expand upon, and hopefully we get to do that. But
how much did you know about who you auditioned for? Like, did you know that the character was going to be like a funny guy at times, comic relief? Like, did you know? Like, was that part of the idea? Yeah, okay.
Dude, the second I got the sides, I was like, oh, this is my guy.
This is the guy. This is the clown. Yeah, this is the guy.
Like the audition scene was the one where he's like, okay, I know something just happened to me, but let's freaking go. Let's do this. And I was like, okay. This is what I want to do. Are you kidding? This is awesome.
Yeah.
So like I did the audition and I like had a hat on backwards and I was like laying on my couch. It was like I had so much. This was the most fun audition to do, and I think that's why it just felt so good doing.
Absolutely. But last question before we wrap up. They're going to be able to see the first 2 episodes of National Treasure: Edge of History, December 14th. It's crazy that those words came in my mouth right now, right? Like
literally so soon. It's in 5 days, right?
Yeah, I know. When they get a chance to watch it, what are you hoping they get out of it takeaway wise? Besides like having fun, escapism, anything else specifically?
Yeah, of course there's escapism and you know, I think I just really hope that they come away with like the idea of family and like the chosen family that we have in the show, and the movies and the show centers around family, right? Yep. Jess is linked to this treasure through family. Jake is linked through this treasure through family, and like watching this over the holidays with your family, I think it just really brings people together.
Yep.
And the show, we're all brought together for a specific reason. So I think, that's my answer. I'm going to stop right there before I ramble.
All right. No, that's amazing.
Well,
Antonio Cipriano.
Cipriano.
Thank you so much for your time, man. It was so great chatting with you, dude.
It was so good to chat with you too. Thank you so much.
Yeah, 2 episodes, December 14th, National Treasure: Edge of History on Disney+. You have an Instagram account where people can keep up to date with?
I do. It is Antonio Cipriano.
I was going to say
underscore. There's an underscore at the bottom.
Amazing. All right. I'm sure there's going to be some behind the scenes stuff being posted by a lot of the cast coming out soon, because I bet, it's going to be awesome. Well, it's been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Antonio and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.